So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So what I have here today, unexpectedly, what could have been my second car. This is the 2020 Mazda 3 Premium Hatchback. And you're wondering, why am I reviewing a 2020 model yet again? Because this 2020 model is actually comparable than that of the 2023 model. Well, not the sport variant, I'll get into that detail, but I have a separate review of that. So this is comparable to the 2023 M Hybrid model. As well, I couldn't pass the opportunity again of reviewing a Mazda 3 because like what I said, this could have been my second car. So I'd like to thank everyone here again at Mazda Makati and to Sir Ralph and to Sir Fernand. These are their contact details. So please give them a visit and test drive this Mazda 3 hatchback. Being a 2020 model, you can tell from the differences between the 2023 sport model are the headlights. There are no daytime running lights and they're not the adaptive ones that go up and down. And as you can see from the shot alone, the turn indicators don't appear and disappear like current Mazdas. And on the side profile and the rear quarter panel, yeah, this is one of the sexiest hatchbacks ever made. And for me, I don't know why at the moment, for me, this is the best hatchback in the world, if you don't compare about 595. Anyway, LED repeaters here on the side mirror, and as well being the Mazda 3. So as well, I driven my dream color, the soul red color, when I reviewed the Sport. So this polymetal gray was actually my second choice of color. I mean, this is probably one of the most underrated colors of Mazda. Yes, soul red is the popular choice among Mazda buyers, but I gotta say this polymetal gray, you should take a second look at it. And as well, being a Mazda 3 hatchback, no difference since I reviewed the Sport model, which is a naturally aspirated engine. So hopefully I can drive the M Hybrid soon. So open up the hood. So powering all Mazda 3 hatchbacks is a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that produces 156 horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque. And like most automatic Mazdas now, this one is mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission. So as well with the M Hybrid is exactly the same to a bit with the 48-volt mild hybrid system. So as well, ground clearance is pretty low. That was one of my complaints before. This one stands at 135 millimeters. And what I like to with the Mazda 3 models, you don't get chrome anywhere and you get only gloss black for this grille only. So here now at the rear of the Mazda 3 hatchback, oh, it looks so good. So you get gloss black bumpers over here, and like all most Mazdas, you get real exhaust tips. And that's pretty much it. A reverse camera and open the boot up. So being the Mazda 3 hatchback from this 2020 model to the current one, boot space remains exactly the same apart from the hybrid model. So for the naturally aspirated counterparts, the boot space stands at 334 to 351 liters. There's never been an exact figure. And underneath, you have a space saver donut type tire and an LED light right here on the left side and a top no cover. That's pretty much it. And a button right here to lock the car right when you close the boot down. And finally, if you fold all of the seats down, it's close to 1,000 liters. So that's about it with the exterior and the engine and the boot of this Mazda 3 hatchback premium 2020 model. Let's check out the interior. So this is the interior of the Mazda 3 hatchback. Right, we done certain. Why is it so hot today? Anyways, so here in the interior, yeah, there's a lot of black stuff here. Remember, again, this is the 2020 premium model, so there are a lot more changes if you watch my 2023 sport review and if you check out the Mazda 3 M hybrid models. So here in the steering wheel, it's the shiny bit, but it's still nice to the touch. You also have tilt and telescopic, so you have your phone connectivity and volume adjustments on the left side and cruise control functions on the right side. And then here in the door card, love all the materials, very plush here and there. Cubby spaces and cup holders on each side. Surprisingly, my big water jug fits. And like with most Mazdas too, this comes with the signature Bose sound system. I've heard this in person. Come here to Mazda Makati, experience the Bose sound system for yourself. It's one of the best sound systems I've tried out. So here on the left side of the dashboard, below the air conditioning vent, there are a lot of buttons, albeit one blank only, and then there's an extra storage down below. And then here you have an instrument cluster. The one in the middle is digital, and either side they are completely analog, and there is a lot of adjustments you can do. And my favorite part with the Mazda 3 hatchback, you have paddle shifters. They are plastic, but I don't mind. So as well, you have the infotainment system here. Like with some current Mazdas, yeah, you have to control it here in the center console with the swivel wheel. But yet again, being a Mazda, it's still very, very responsive. And there's a lot of stuff here you can do as well in the infotainment system. And surprisingly, being a 2020 model and up to date with the current Mazda 3s2, you have a reverse camera with a 360-degree camera. The quality is better than most of its competitors, I have to say. And then below the infotainment system, you have your air conditioning controls, engine start stop button, a USB port. Further down below, you have a cubby space, fits my phone, and right behind you have two cup holders with plastic grips, still fit my big water jug. And then here in the center console itself, you have your gear shift, your drive modes, and then for your auto hold function, electronic parking brake, and controls for your infotainment system. So remember, there are only two modes for this Mazda 3 hatchback. It says here sport and off. So off being normal, and then sport. That's it. And then glove box. Oh, that's huge. I forgot all about that. Here in the center console box, you can slide it back and open it. The space in it is decent. You have a 12-volt socket, a USB port, and a divider just in case. And above here, you have sunglasses holder, LED lights, and controls for your sunroof. I forgot all about that. And then visor, you have a vanity mirror with LED light. Don't extend, but and again, it's good. So still with this 2020 model, comparing with the Mazda 3 Sport hatch that I reviewed almost a year ago, the quality, fit, and finish here still really, really good, I must say. Even though this is like an older model here, but still good nevertheless. Especially the seats. Yes, they are more on the sportier side of things, but nevertheless, I still sit comfortably, and you have electronic adjustments for only for the driver's seat. Everything here on the passenger side is manually operated. And since we're here already, space in the back. Okay, yes, being the Mazda 3 hatchback, yeah, that space is a little bit tight, but I'm a small adult. I fit just all right there in the rear. And two, if I sit in the middle, yeah, that's my biggest complaint with this Mazda 3 hatch, because you have a very large transmission tunnel. However, if you're planning to bring an extra passenger in the rear, it will be doable for short trips. And as well, here in the middle, you have two air conditioning vents, and on the door card, pretty much the same like the ones in front. And there are cup holders too on either side, still fit my big water jug. And in the central armrest, there are two cup holders, still surprisingly fit my big water jug. And the biggest problem with this Mazda 3 hatchback, well, I said it too in my previous review, is the C-pillar. Look how big it is. So blind spot could be an issue. However, there is the use of side mirrors. They are pretty big anyways, and as well that 360-degree camera to help you out. So yeah, that's pretty much here in the interior of this Mazda 3 hatchback. Let's go for a drive. So finally driving my biggest what if car again. And of course, you know, here at Mazda Makati, the ramp here is really steep. So as well, I did note the ground clearance of this Mazda 3 hatchback. So you have to be a little bit careful going over big humps, steep ramps, so on and so forth. Yeah, you gotta watch out. And this one is the big test, like the off ramp of going out here to the main road of Pasong Tamo. Oh, okay, just made it. Right, so of course, if you're in the CX-30, you won't have an issue going over big humps and very big steep ramps, because of course the CX-30 has a little bit higher ground clearance. But knowing this is the same car, yeah, this will be fine, I guess. And as well, just in normal mode, and like with all Mazdas with the 6-speed automatic transmissions, yeah, it's very smooth, very responsive. So imagine in sport mode. So let's start it out in a bit. So I forgot to mention too, this has a heads-up display. So despite being a 2020 model, it has still the amenities of Android and Apple. But of course, the 2023 models have better systems already than this one. Tire noise, not that much. NVH here, this is what I like with all the Mazdas, and especially with these three. The NVH here is really good, I have to say. And then handling wise, of course, it's really good. Among one of the better hatchbacks in its class. That's what I like too with this, Mazdas in general, not just with these three hatchback. Yeah, they are among one of the best driving cars in respective of all the classes. It's yeah, that's why I as well wanted to buy one of these back in 2020. Thanks, ma. Just kidding. I would even say I'd pick this over my ever favorite hatchback of all time, the Abarth 595. And here's sport mode, and then manual mode. And the response of the transmission is really good, look. There's a little second delay, but you get used to it. Oh wow. You get to high speeds in no time, and then downshift. Responds to my command. That's amazing. Because some others, they won't let you shift down at all. They will do some weird noises like toot toot if it doesn't like to shift down. But with all Mazda transmissions, with the automatics, I have to say, yeah, they respond to my command, which is amazing. Okay, let's try put you back to normal, but let's leave it in manual mode. Okay, comparing with the 2022-23 Mazda Sport model, driving dynamics is exactly the same. That's why I'm not talking that much, but I'm just enjoying the ride, got to be honest. And the blind spot, like what I said, yeah, it's pretty huge. But yet again, this is a short car comparing with the Mazda 3 sedan. Let's not forget. Then here, manual mode, normal mode. Okay, just a slight delay only, but it makes up for it if you're in manual mode. But of course, sport mode will be the best one. Such a good car. I would still consider one in the future if I had the funds to buy again a Mazda 3. Yeah, I do miss this car. Yet again, to this day, this is one of my biggest what if cars. And as well, fuel economy is pretty much the same with the sport model. So just driving here around Pasang Tamo, I've been averaging 5.7 kilometers per day. Yes, it is thirsty in the city, but thanks to my good friend and the owner of the Mazda 3 Sport that I reviewed almost a year ago, he was able to get as high as 23 kilometers per liter in the highway. So this is a very, very fuel efficient vehicle. And let's not forget, very light paced around in the city. His best was around what, 8 to 9 kilometers per liter. So remember, if you're light footed, you're capable of reaching those numbers. But if you're planning to enjoy a lot, like me, yeah, you get low numbers. I think one time we even got as low as 4.8 kilometers per liter. So yeah, you have to watch out for that. So it's very surreal that I'm driving this 2020 Mazda 3 Premium because, yeah, like what I said earlier, and like literally every Mazda 3 hatchback review I've done, this specific one was almost the exact variant I got. Not in polymetal gray or machine gun gray, whatever this is called. Yeah, but in soul red. But yet again, this color was my second choice if there were no soul red variants. Yeah, so good again driving a Mazda 3 hatchback. And yeah, like with the Mazda 3 Elite sedan that I've driven, what, almost 2 years ago now. Yeah, I did notice the steering wheel is a little bit bigger than usual, but yet again, it's not so bad. But it's compared to my car, my former car. Anyway, so story for another time. What else to talk about with this Mazda 3 hatchback? Still among one of the better hatchbacks. Like I said earlier, one of the best hatchbacks of all time for me. So yeah, that concludes my review of this Mazda 3 hatchback Premium. So I'd like to thank everyone here again at Mazda Makati, and to Sir Fernan and Sir Ralph. Please give him a visit and try out this Mazda 3 hatchback because this yet again are one of the best hatchbacks in the world. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more future car reviews and more Mazda reviews coming right up. Bye bye.